Well, this is a complete review of the Xebec system, specifically utilizing the solo screen. Now, if you watched my other video, you would have seen a demonstration of how the solo screen works. But I wanted to kind of create this really cool video that kind of ties everything together. So I have the Xebec mouse here, which is this rechargeable mouse, which is kind of really compact and portable, perfect for traveling. And it supports USB charging, and the USB charger cable comes in the box as well. The mouse comes in this really cute little box, all ready to go for you. It is pre-charged, so you can use it right out of the box. And it's a very sleek design. It has a nice optical sensor on the back, along with the power button. And it uses USB. Now, noticing where that USB placement is, you can actually use this while it's charging too. The click wheel seems responsive. There's a button in the center, and there's side buttons. These are all programmable under the software menu. You can control the speed of the wheel and such forth. I use a Mac and an iPad, so the options might be limited depending on what you're using. And of course, Xebec's famous high quality USB-C to USB-A charging cable. The other product they sent is the Xebec power bank. This is a beautiful power bank. It has a 2 charging ports, 20,000 milliamp battery. So this thing can charge a lot of different devices. It could charge technically your MacBook. It can power up your iPad or charge it. It can also power up and charge items like the Xebec mouse, the Xebec keyboard. So there's plenty of power to go around with this. There's a specific USB-C port for your laptop, and then a traditional USB jack for other paraphernalia like a phone, for example. Has indicators, 4 LEDs to show you the charging power of the bank at that particular moment. And it's pretty solid. I love the feel of it. And of course, it's made by Xebec, so you're getting a quality product. Onto the keyboard. The Xebec keyboard is very thin and portable. It comes in this beautiful, beautiful case. I actually love this. This is something that I'm hoping that they come out for the solo screen as well. It would be a perfect companion. Comes with instructions and also another USB-C to USB-A charging cable or data cable. And so the packaging is beautiful. I love the consistency. I love the attention to detail. This beautiful felt stitched cover has this keyboard. And what's really neat about this keyboard is their attention to detail. I love that little stitching logo on the side of the keyboard. And then there's this little kickstand. So you just have to, and that's the power button right there. And they have these, that's the little feet to protect the keyboard. So you can lay it flat, but then you can pull this toward you, and it's like a little kickstand. So you can have it angled. So there's USB jacks on the side, which is beautiful. So you can charge it, plug in something. And the quality of this keyboard is great. The stand doesn't wiggle. It's really rigid. And I personally think that this keyboard can rival even the portable Mac keyboards that you see that are rechargeable too. These are really decent keyboards. Even the feel of the keys, super, super solid. The travel from the keys is pretty decent. The touch portion is decent. So this is just me just tapping on some keys. Pretty decent. I actually have to say that it's very responsive, feels very natural. If you're coming from a Mac keyboard or a Mac environment, it's going to seem very natural to you. So, with all that being said, with all the devices, I have my 12.9-inch iPad here, along with a solo screen, the keyboard, mouse, and power bank. So this is kind of showing you what do you do when you have all the devices paired, say, with an iPad. And I picked an iPad on purpose because I wanted to show real-world situation. I love my iPad Pro, and so I'm going to show you how I make it work. So it has a kickstand connected in the back. The iPad's fed into that kickstand. And so I'm just going to start working. So the mouse, if you haven't used a mouse with an iPad, it's pretty remarkable. You get this little gray dot. You can click on things. You can check on devices and how you set up multi-monitors, just like you would with a standard Mac. You have options. So you can click on the XSS1, that's the screen itself, the solo screen, and it supports high dynamic range. And if you don't prefer that, you can click on standard dynamic range. I obviously prefer the high dynamic range, especially with doing photography and video editing. It's kind of a must-have. So I'm really happy that the solo screen supports that. And then you can also change the direction, the arrangement, just like you would on a traditional Mac. So you can move the screen up, down, over, to the left. So in my configuration, I'm just going to leave it like that. So overall, super simple to use, really easy to set up. And then you can also hit mirror, and you can mirror your device. So if you wanted to like flip the screen around and kind of show someone in the meeting, like, hey, this is what we're working on, you can have duplicate screens to show your work. For my case, I'm working, so I'm not going to keep that feature on, but you can flip back and forth. It's beautiful. So a lot of great options, and these are native in the Mac and the iOS of the iPad. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the multi-screen use. So you can't just sometimes drag and drop a screen over to the other, but there's these little 3 dots at the top of your screen. And so what you do is, saying you're like opening up a document or notes, for example, you can just go up to these 3 little dots at the top, click it, and say, yeah, switch the screen. I want to move it over. And it literally, shoop, moves it over to your secondary screen. So another feature is called, on the side, you'll notice there's this panel that automatically pops up. And that's called Stage Manager. And basically what that is basically a really quick way of navigating between your windows. So I kind of wanted to walk you through just kind of a general gist of what I do. So I am a photographer and I make videos as well, but I use Lightroom a lot. So I can go in and edit this photo of vegetables, and if I need to like switch what I'm doing, I can easily do that. But this solo screen is so larger even than my iPad. The colors are accurate, and then I can just switch. So if I want to check colors, I can check them on the iPad. I know a lot of people trust their Apple devices for color accuracy and everything like that, but I can tell you right now, just by switching back and forth, the colors are pretty decent. I'm very happy with the quality of the screen. I can switch back and forth on a much larger screen. I can see more details. And I can use my iPad as a secondary monitor if I need other content displayed on it. So I like how I can just easily type in music, and so I'm going to search for like an artist and everything like this. And meanwhile, everything's running in the background, and I can just click, an artist real quick and go from there and listen to my music. So this is just one way of how I utilize the Xebec solo screen and all the paraphernalia like the keyboard, mouse, and power bank. These are wonderful products that Xebec makes, and I highly recommend that you check them out. I said, when you put everything together that they offer with the screen, the power bank, the mouse, and the keyboard, it's a win-win every time. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment below. I'm sure to answer any questions you have. Thanks for watching.